All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Can I get an adoption of the agenda?
Move we adopt the agenda.
A second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chair, would you do the invitation, please?
Bow with me, please. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening and thank you for this wonderful, beautiful place that we have to live. Be with all of our folks in this town, keep them safe, keep all of us on the right track, make us understand what you need us to do. In Jesus' name,
Amen. Approval of minutes, November 18th board meeting.
So moved.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got one person for public comment, Mr. Chad Smith.
Imagine that.
We'll have 3 minutes.
Really quick. Really preemptive, but I want to say thank you, Matt Wilson, Teresa, Mr. Frank. We sit around at breakfast, we talk about it in the neighborhoods, in the garages, in the grocery store and everywhere. But I found out all it takes is a $5 bill and a trip to Whiteville to sign up, to come here and put your time, effort, energy, sacrifice your time, effort, and energy for you and your families to do what y'all are doing for this town. And I want to say thank you for all y'all have done for us in the past and how much I appreciate it and how much everybody here should appreciate it. And thank you.
Thank you. All right.
They didn't give a refund.
We have a couple last minute budget amendments that we have to do, and the town mayor's gonna get through them, we're gonna get through them pretty quick. I know Mr. Jesse was in a hurry, and, we're gonna try to do this pretty quick.
All right.
Roll with it, bud.
Go through it real quick. Basically what we're doing is closing the books on this administration, so the new administration starts with a clean slate. We've got basically a payment for an ambulance that the county provided to us between 22 and 23, that the payments were deferred, and so basically once it was time for us to start paying on it, the interest rate that the county was going to give us was 27%, so you all determined that you were going to pay for it in full and save the 27% interest. That was $103,000. There was a purchase of an ambulance that is being used for transport. That was, hold on one second, going the wrong direction, $75,000. And then you've got the wastewater treatment plant project has incurred some permit issues and fines. Basically what I've got here is we're dealing with the state. We've been blowing numbers. What that means is when you're treating the wastewater, you have to be within acceptable parameters as far as what the allowable percentage of ammonia and other things in the water is as you're treating it. This is wastewater, this is sewage. And so we were coming in at elevated numbers. It was originally attributed to being during the construction of the project, and that had been going on since, I think we started blowing numbers in February. February is the first time we blew numbers. We attempted to try different things to alleviate the issue. We were unsuccessful. We bought biological supplements, trying to additives to add to it and break it down. That did not work. Then Kevin Powell came back to work with us here at the lake, and within a couple of days and reaching out to his contacts and trying to troubleshoot this, he was able to find out that not only did we have this chemical it was imbalanced, but we also had a piece of equipment called a clarifier that was not functioning properly, that was causing the attempts that we were making with the additives and what they call bugs that eat all of this to die. And so by fixing that problem, alleviating that issue, and being able to bring it back into balance, we were able to get our numbers back on track, but it took probably another additional 3 months to get the numbers back. The best analogy I can give you is it's like checking the pH on your pool. You have to add different things, different chemicals and all that to get these levels within acceptable parameters. Currently, we're looking at, we're gonna attribute $82,000 to cover these fines. The fines are not at that amount yet, but they are above $70,000. We're asking to appeal because of the considerations of we've been under having a project done out there at the wastewater treatment plant, and that attributed some of the issues. We were waiting for the total amount, and we believe we're at the total amount, but we're not sure because the last one came in November. The problem with how this happens, if some people may ask, well, why it takes so long, we were 3 months in the river before we even get notified anything. So if we had a problem in February, we didn't hear about it till April. So by the time we're taking action in April, we're already 3 months behind as far as that. So from the time Kevin started in August, was it August, Kevin? August, here, you know, we've got our last numbers, and I think we've seen the last now in November. But the funds we're setting aside to cover those fines is $82,000. We're, like I said, asking for a meeting, and we're gonna ask for an adjustment. I can't tell you what that'll be at this time yet. What I can tell you is I anticipate it being at least a 20% decrease from that number. Other than that, the budget amendments, you've got a couple small things, for like a Godwin pump, $4,000. You've got, some insurance adjustments at $7,200. You've got, maintenance and repair of equipment in public works that had to be adjusted. 20 on the water side, 30 on the sewer side, and the grand total for those, budget amendments is $363,680. Now, I'm not trying to run through it, but I know we're in time constraints, and I will answer any questions that you have in regards to it if you have anything further.
Thank goodness we got Kevin back.
I'm happy about it. I know Kevin has not wanted it to be looked at. He and I spoke about this, and he didn't want any attention directed towards him. Because, you know, these guys were working the problem. He just, you know, Kevin's got over 10 years experience and contacts, and he was able to troubleshoot it, and he got it figured out. So Kevin's trying to be low key about it, and I appreciate his efforts and him being humble about it, but yes, I agree.
So you need that in the form of a motion?
A motion to, yes, for us to do the budget amendments, please.
Motion to approve the budget amendments.
A second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Any opposed? All right. And there's a lot more explanation with the new people coming in, with the hamlets and the county and the agreement. Damon can fill you in on all of that.
I brought more information, I know that we're dealing with.
all right. That being said, oath of office, Mr. Willett Gray. Very well, it was in my agenda package if Greg Wilson was out. We'll let you go first. And,
all right, come on up, Mr. Jacobs and family. If you have the family with him tonight. All right. Okay. You have your family, come on up here, it's a big night, come on. Congratulations. If you'll hold that Bible for me, please, ma'am. You'll put your left hand on the Bible, and you'll stand right there. Put your left hand on the Bible, and raise your right hand to me, please, sir. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States? and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina not inconsistent therewith, and that you will faithfully discharge your duties as office of mayor for the town of Lake Waccamaw, so help you God do. Congratulations, Mayor. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, next up, yes, sir, next up, I will go in alphabetical order after that. Mr. Andrews, step forward, please, sir, with your family. Hold that Bible for me, throw it on my knee. And you just stay on the other side, so put your left hand, there you go. Miss Lefton, you ready? Okay. All right. You got everybody? All right. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and you'll faithfully discharge your duties of your office as a member of the Board of Commissioners for the town of Lake Waccamaw, so help you God do? Congratulations. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Henry. Yes, sir. Mr. Andrews, please come up here real quick. All right, Mr. Henry. You will come right here, Mr. Yes, sir. You here hold the Bible. Put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right for me, please. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that you'll faithfully discharge the duties of your office as a member of the Board of Commissioners for the town of Lake Waccamaw, so help you God? Congratulations, Commissioner.
All right, I guess at this time, if the newly elected officials would like to come take their seats, we can go home. Might stick around and see how it goes. Real quick, I'd like to say it's been a good ride for me. 12 years, 8 years commissioner, 4 years as mayor. I appreciate everybody's support, and my wife, I appreciate her support. My daughter, Lincoln, who decided to go to South East Columbus basketball game. I said, whatever you want to do, honey. So, good deal, and I hope you the best. Lynn, Curtis, all right. You gotta go with me too. Take that later. That's you.
So I'm running everywhere. I got to be there at 6:30, so I apologize, leaders, including you.
Lynn, that says minute, not minute.
Teddy. I got something I would like to read. Can everyone hear me? Good evening, everyone. Tonight is humbling. Standing here as your mayor is one of the greatest honors of my life. So I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to my family, my friends, and every single person in this community who believed in me, challenged me, encouraged me, and trusted me with this responsibility. This win is not about me. It's about us. About a town that cares deeply about its people, its future, and this lake we all love. Over the past few months, I've seen the best of Lake Waccamaw. Neighbors helping neighbors, folks sharing their hopes, their concerns, and their dreams of what we can build together. To those who supported me, thank you. To those who didn't, I hope to earn your confidence through hard work, fairness, honesty, and listening. My promise is simple. I will show up, I will be accountable, and I will work every single day to keep this town moving forward. We have challenges ahead, but we also have incredible opportunities. If we stay united, stay focused, and keep treating each other with respect, there's nothing this community can't accomplish. Thank you for this privilege. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for loving this town enough to want better, because that's what I'm here to fight for. So we'll get to work together.
Amen.
Need a motion for it?
Yes, sir. That would be appropriate.
Need a motion for Mayor Pro Tem.
Make a motion to keep Mr. Goodrum as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second.
Motion to keep Mr. Terry Richard as the Mayor Pro Tem. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Honored.
Next up, we have the appointment of the Cape Fear Council of Government, the delegate, and alternate.
I've done it before. I'll be glad to do it again. If somebody else wants to do it, please. I'll be glad to do it if you'd like.
I make a motion Mr. Terry continue to do it. Be the delegate for the.
Motion's been made for Mr. Terry to remain the delegate for God. Second.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
I don't recall who the alternate is.
We don't have one. We need a point.
Anyone volunteer?
I'll do that.
I make a motion that Lynn become the alternate.
I'll second.
Motion's been made for Lynn to be the alternate. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. The 2026 meeting has been set. The meeting schedule. There's a couple conflicts with the date, but I believe we got it straightened out, and I don't have the minutes in there.
Those are the dates.
Change the April.
April 1 to 4/21. I have a motion to accept these dates with amendment of the 4/21 date.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
There's a motion been made to accept these dates and to amend the 4/21 date, or the dates of 4/21 to 4/14. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I'm pulling double duty tonight, guys. The finance report, you all have it in your packet. Ms. Parker provided it to you. You've got your tax collector's report, your revenue and expenditure report. are there any questions or comments that you have in regards to that? And, quite frankly, if you have any questions about that, we'll have to direct those to her tomorrow. With the manager's report, just want to go over a couple things with you all. First off, I want to tell you all, from me, welcome. I look forward to working with you. We have a meeting on the 10th, or I have a meeting on the 10th, to close out the wastewater treatment plant project. And we're going to be doing a pre-con for the Sewer 6 project. That's a meeting with the engineers to go over finalization with the wastewater treatment plant, making sure that everything's checked off on the boxes, everything's been done appropriately, and then also getting started with the Sewer 6 project. There's been some information that's been provided to the town that there's some concerns about how that project is going to proceed. I had Meredith provide it to, I think Mr. Sessions got a copy of it, and the engineers got it. If you didn't get it, I will make sure that you get it. But there's some information that we want to make sure that we address before we proceed with that project, so we don't have any delays. But that meeting, I'll be meeting with the engineers tomorrow. The meter project is going to be starting on the 15th. Down at the dam and working its way around. It should take around 90 days. I'm hoping, well, they're saying they'll be done by March. I'm willing to give them a cushion to April because you never know what they're going to run into. But by April, this project should be finalized and finished, and that's the replacement of all the water meters in town. The candlelight walk is going to be at 5:30 on Thursday. That's been rescheduled because of the weather delay. We're having the parade on Saturday. Ms. Parker told me that I think the lineup is at 9 and the parade is at 10. Is that correct? Okay. All right. And that's all I have for you all this evening.
You said we're meeting with the wastewater treatment plant.
It's the engineers. It's basically we're closing out one project and then we're having a pre-con for the Sewer 6 project.
I know there were some concerns about electrical issues at the plant. Have they been addressed?
Yeah, it's been ongoing. There's been discussion between the engineers and the town electrician. And basically what it comes down to is a difference in, you've got an electrician that's worked for the town for decades that believes that the way they're doing it is improper. The issue that we have is they have engineers and designers that are designing it that have to ensure that it works properly before we take ownership of it. They're saying that they're not going to modify their design because their design will work. So you've got those two that are not agreeing on that. The issue is we've hired these engineers and given this project, and it has to work before we final out and close this project. Not only does it have to work and it has to be sustainable long term, they are responsible for making sure it's maintained for the first year. So the predicament that you run into is if we go with our local electrician, which, look, nothing against him, the guy is always there for us, does a great job and has been there, rain, sleet, sun, whatever, whatever it takes, somebody's always been there. But if we modify the project, then it doesn't go to the initial design, and unless if they go with his, it voids the warranty on some of the new equipment that's put in. And if you go with their design, they have to ensure that it has to be successful. So
How long do they insure that for?
a year, well, for the first year, they have to maintain it. Or if there's anything that has to be fixed or anything like that, it's for the first year.
My question is, and Kevin, I'm glad you're here because you can answer that. Is in the summertime we're tripping breakers pretty steady.
We have trips and breakers with those new aerators, and it seemed to be a heat problem inside the box. We've had I've had multiple conversations with the engineers, with the people that put it in. They've come down, they've taken temperature readings, and like I say, it seems to be something's causing some heat inside the box. They went back to the drawing board, you know, me and Sonny, we tried to give them the plan that Sonny had for it, and they just, the box that they had put in, they went back to like the manufacturer and told them all about the problems we're having, and they gave them, the manufacturer gave them a different recommendation. So they went with the manufacturer's recommendation of, I think they added a vent to the side of the box and the bottom to allow some airflow through there. But, I should be in the meeting with, about the project with Damon, and until we know for sure, the aerators were tripping when you turned both of them on together. When it was pulling that full load, trying to pull it through there, it was just causing a heat source, and, you know, like Damon said, until we know for sure that it is, until we know for sure that they have, that vent's gonna fix it, you know, we're not gonna close anything out until we know for sure that
We wouldn't be able to know that till July or August, though, would we?
Well, they were tripping some right on into August, and a little bit in September. So like I say, they came down, they did replace a few parts in the box, like, some thermal overloads and things, but it's kind of a, it is a little bit of a time will tell. We're putting loads on them and testing them, but for the moment, they're working okay. For the moment, they seem to be working okay.
It used to see two panels, one aerator fed out of one panel, another one fed out of another one. When they did all this stuff, they put some kind of crazy breaker in there, and now they both feed off to the same panel. I think what's happening is it's causing the amperage in that panel to get a little higher, which is causing the temperature to get a little higher, and it's causing it to trip one or the other, whichever one's the hottest at the time. So, kind of a tale, I guess, on that.
That's something we probably won't know till.
Might not till it warms up, might not. But I think the best answer would be to split it back up. For whatever reason, I don't want to do that, and I'm not an engineer, I didn't design it, but I think that's what we were looking at doing, and they didn't want to do that, so, for whatever reason, I'm not sure. That was the engineering firm.
I can get the engineers to meet with you all and answer those questions.
Well, I just don't want us to have a long-term problem, it's costing us a ton of money, and we just paid how many $1 million to get this done?
And it's, you know, and I'll tell you, where we've been at is we've met with them, we meet with Sonny, we get our guys together, we've all sat down, and the dilemma that we're facing, and maybe the impact you guys can, you know, sway something, but you've got these engineers that, they're the ones that design this. They've got their designers, they've got the engineers, and they're assuring us that it's going to work. I'm not an electrical engineer, I don't, you know, so we've hired them to do it, we're contracted with them to do it, and they're obligated through that contract to make sure that it does. They're assuring us that they're gonna troubleshoot it and make sure that it works effectively, and we're not gonna sign off and take ownership until they do. Because once we take ownership, that clock for that year starts.
Correct.
So we wanna make sure that we don't take ownership of the product until they can give us assurances that it's gonna function as needed. But to kind of circle back to what they were saying, that's kind of the, you know, I hate to call it a dance, but the dance that goes on. You've got the engineers and the designers, and then they go back to the manufacturer. Well, the manufacturer gives them a recommendation. They're gonna go with the manufacturer's recommendation, because all of that covers warranty. And so if they were to not do those things, let's say they went a different direction from the manufacturer's recommendation, and it was to damage, then somebody's gotta pay for it, and so they're all trying to go by the assurances of the people that are in line that do this. And, you know, this project has had its issues with tripping. It's a power issue.
My specific question to them would be, because I don't think this board of warranty is, just like our inspector just said, separating power. One thing like it was before, because I think what he's saying is correct, it's getting building up too many amps, it's getting too hot, and it's causing it to trip and do breakers. How much a piece?
I don't know, I can't answer that, but I can tell you that Sonny came to the plant and with myself, and we met with the electrical engineer, our engineering firm that's over the project and the contractor put it in, there was 5 of us in the room, and Sonny gave them his recommendation on splitting the power, and they said that that was not how they had, the engineer had drawn it up, the designer had drawn it up, and that was not the manufacturer's recommendation, and so, like, as Damon said, we went back to the manufacturer, they went back to the manufacturer, and it was recommended that we go with the vent. So, that's kind of where we're at with that.
So when was the vent, when you put the vent in?
Put it in, I think about 2.5 weeks ago. So,
We have no clue what's gonna do with hot weather.
not at the moment, no, sir. But I mean, it is inside, the panel, it's not like it's sitting outside in sunshine and stuff, hot and cold, it's in the office or in the building at the treatment plant, so it's in a climate control area. And it's still having these troubles, I mean, that building stays pretty, you know, we have a heater and our air conditioner in there, so it stays pretty 65, 66, somewhere near about all the time, you know, 70 sometimes, but it stays pretty close there, so we're running them and, you know, we're putting some load on them, trying to, just testing them, trying to, if they're gonna trip, we want them to go ahead and do it, so we, you know, we know if we have a problem, but, you know, as stated, it's kinda gonna be, that is gonna be a time thing to tell.
So in the meeting, we should ask the engineers or guys you're meeting with tomorrow about extending or not starting our cycle
Yes, sir.
under warranty until we can test it in heat.
Yes, sir, because we don't wanna take ownership of anything until it's bulletproof.
If we're having heat problems in the winter, we're gonna have really heat problems in the summer.
And short-term, success doesn't mean guaranteed it's sustainable. We wanna make sure that it's long-term sustainable.
What's the latest on the dam project?
The same company that was awarded before was awarded again, and they're putting together, right now they've got permission to go in and do the assessment. I'll be bringing you all a contract. I spoke with them earlier, end of last week. They were delayed because the person that submitted their packet for them, the engineer, she's on medical leave, so all her projects have been split between 3 different people. I've now had contact with the person that's handling that project, who has now sent me, or sending me the contract for us to execute so they can go in and do the assessment, and that's the first step. And that's what we have. Right now, we have an easement for them to go in and do the assessment, then they'll get into what the cost analysis and everything is. But I should have it for you guys no later than next week. I'm hoping by the end of this week. I was hoping to have it for tonight, it just didn't make.
Anything new with wells, or are we still?
You've got, a grocery list of stuff they sent in the states, basically had 9, there were 9 items with subcategories of things they needed provided to make sure that it meets criteria, by the engineers. One of the key problems that they had was the math was done at 250 gallons per minute, and the maximum capacity of those pumps is 240 gallons per minute. So they needed to go back in and redo math because that exceeded the capacity for the pumps. So that's the current process that's been going on for about a week and a half now.
Any new news on the easement for the power work they own?
It was, the last thing that was done is Duke, the representative from Duke submitted it to Eric O'Neill and, Eric Moore, and Eric Moore has not responded yet. That gave him every map, diagram, and everything he needs, but they haven't responded yet. The state hasn't.
Make that motion.
We're gonna go into closed session, somebody wants to. Make a motion to go into closed session to discuss some contractual stuff with the attorney.
Motion's been made to go into closed session on contracts with attorney.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed?
All right, folks, the board has voted to go into closed session. We're gonna have to ask you to step out of the building. Thank you.